Ah, such a delight. What a delight it is to stand before you, my tiny audience of dreamers and doers, thinkers and doubters. The question I bring to you today, my friends, is one that you and you alone can answer. It's a question that no amount of wealth, no amount of power, no blinding lights or false pretensions can solve for you. No, no, no. It's far more simple and intricate than that. Isn't it? Know yourself. What a funny thing to say. Oh, how hilarious it sounds. People move about thinking they know who they are. They think they have it all figured out. They've put together a small narrative, a lovely little account of their life, their objectives, their triumphs. But guess what, my friends? They're all just playing a part in someone else's story, pretending to be someone they're not. It's a mask, a lie. Do you know what it feels like to genuinely know yourself? To strip away all the pretenses, the small lies, and to stare into that mirror and declare, I know you. I see you for who you are. But here's the kicker, isn't it? You don't always like what you see. Do you? Oh, the wonderful masks we wear to hide ourselves from the world. We're all wearing them, whether we confess it or not. I wear one too. It's painted in a grin, a smile that reaches much too broad for comfort. It's this chuckle, you hear it, don't you? The one that makes your skin crawl. But listen closely, my dear, that's not the true mask. The mask is what I wear when I'm being decent, when I'm playing by society's norms. It's the mask that says I'm a good citizen, a respectable individual, and a fitting member of the crowd. But who am I really? Who am I when I let the mask slip away? What is underneath all that? I'll tell you, and I'll tell you bluntly, I am chaos. I am craziness. I am the one who sees through all the falsehoods. I view the world for what it is, a dizzying ballet of contradictions and absurdities. And what a joy it is to let go of the pretense and accept the truth. What liberation comes when you quit faking. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and start causing trouble. Oh no, no, no. I'm not calling for that kind of lunacy. But I am telling you that you must search deep inside yourself and be honest. Honest with who you are. Honest about your flaws. Honest with your darkness. Now let me tell you a secret, one that I know too well. We spend our lives trying to run away from who we are, from what scares us. We hide behind that polished face and those beautiful words. We cover the fear, the embarrassment, the anguish, because we think it's improper to exhibit it. But let me ask you this, what would happen if you stopped running from your fears? What if you just stopped, turned around, and shouted, come at me, I'm ready. Fear isn't something to run away from. Fear is something to embrace. Fear is the lens through which you'll actually view yourself. It's only when you stare your worries in the face that you'll fully know who you are. You think you're terrified of your vulnerability, but let me tell you something. The things you're afraid of, they're part of you. You can't escape them. Not forever. Not really. What happens when you finally face that fear in the eye, and you don't blink? You realize that the terror you thought was so great, so scary, it was just a shadow, wasn't it? It was only a reflection of what you couldn't accept about yourself. Do you know the biggest lie individuals tell themselves? That they are in control, that they can anticipate the future, that they have everything drawn out and planned. You can try, but that's all it is, an attempt. You assume you can control everything. You imagine that you can mold yourself into something ideal, something pleasing to the world. But guess what? Life isn't perfect. You're not perfect. and neither is anyone else. What do I constantly say? Introduce a little anarchy, upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. But why does anarchy receive such a poor reputation? Chaos isn't your adversary. No, it's your truest ally, my friend. Because underlying the pandemonium, there's something raw, something real. It's in the turmoil that we find who we truly are, stripped of all pretenses, all expectations, and all illusions of control. Do you know what happens when you welcome the chaos? When you quit trying to be so clean, so perfect, you become liberated. You become free to express yourself whatever you want, to say what you think without fear of condemnation. When you know yourself, you stop caring about fitting into a mold. You stop trying to please others, and that's when the real freedom begins. So here's the thing. Know your turmoil, embrace it, revel in it, because chaos is your truth. Chaos is where the magic happens. You don't need to fight it, you need to own it. So we've spoken about masks and fear and turmoil, but what's the true secret to knowing yourself? It's this acceptance. Oh, how many loathe that word. Acceptance seems so weak, doesn't it? Like giving in, like surrendering. But let me tell you something. Accepting yourself doesn't mean that you stop evolving. It doesn't mean you stop aiming for excellence or being a better person. No, it means you accept the complete package, your darkness, your light, your defects, and your virtues. You accept the idea that you will never be flawless. And that's okay. When you stop trying to change who you are, when you stop trying to be someone you're not, that's when you unlock your actual potential. You can't construct a sturdy foundation if you're standing on a pile of lies. So quit faking. Stop dressing up your defects and pretending they don't exist. Know them, own them. They are yours to shape and grow. You can't fix what you refuse to face. But the most important thing is this: don't be afraid to love yourself in the process. And I mean love yourself. Not the version of yourself you want to be, not the version that people expect of you, but the genuine you. The messy, chaotic, imperfect you. The you that can laugh at all the suffering and still keep going. The you who realizes that being alive requires falling down, getting back up, and still repeating, I'm still here. So where does all this lead? What happens when you fully know yourself? Freedom. Pure, unadulterated freedom. You see, if you know who you are, truly know who you are, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to struggle for affirmation or pretend that you've got it all figured out. Because the truth is, you don't need to. And that, my friends, is where the power rests. You cease living for others. You cease living for approval. You stop playing by rules that don't fit you, and you start crafting your own screenplay. Your own story. Not one that someone else ordered you to live, but one that comes from deep within your spirit. And what does that freedom look like? It's wild. It's untamed. It's unapologetic. It's the ability to look at yourself in the mirror and laugh. Laugh because you know that you've got nothing to conceal, nothing to lose, nothing to prove. So, the question remains, do you know yourself? Or are you still hiding behind the mask? Take it off. Embrace your turmoil. Live your truth. Know yourself and watch how everything else comes into place.